Excellent idea.
Like this is your mini feud
Mm,
that can go for weeks.
Hold on a minute.
yeah.
I
Like,
think he's up to something here.
but not only
I guess
that, it
we'll find
involves
out soon
multiple
enough.
people, so it
Mm,
gives them something to do leading up to the Rumble.
yeah.
I mean, like, fuck, like have like 60 odd or 100 odd like people, like guaranteed, like you find a way to get them on the fucking like the card.
Yeah. Like, it's the same as anything else. Like, I mean, like they could do, like you could put this amount of effort into thinking about the Rumble, building it up to like, again, like you have such a mythos with the Rumble now to the extent where like broadly speaking, you could say, right, if it's a 30-person Rumble, it's usually 25 people, 5 surprises, maybe a call up here and there, maybe a debut. You know, you could make it a structured thing and say there are 21 public spots available for the Royal Rumble. Raw has been allocated 11, SmackDown relegated 10, or fucking NXT gets 1 or 2, whatever else. Again, NXT could have a literal golden ticket gimmick where somebody on the roster is given an opportunity to get into the Royal Rumble,
Yeah.
and it's a good number. You're told it's number 20. So whoever comes out, you're expecting them to come out at number 20. So let me, right, as an example, right? NXT do a golden ticket gimmick. They are the only NXT representative in that Rumble. So literally all the rosters like hopes are pinned on them. You could throw to someone like Carmelo Hayes,
Yep.
who again, regardless of the title like situation, whatever else is, inconsequential because he's going to go up against Raw and SmackDown boys. You can book him independently to the rest of the Rumble because you want to know how good he's going to line up against the other guys.
Yep.
But also you're kind of like setting your stall out and saying, we will have returns, we will have surprises, we'll have wildcard entries, all this sort of shit. And again, they can be different call-ups, they can be returns, legends. Take your fucking pick. But you can set your stall out and say, everyone else is vying for the actual positions. And let certain wrestlers make their number public. Because you can establish, like, okay, you know who's coming in number 12 or 11, whatever else is. They don't have to be the favorites or like top tier wrestlers, but like someone might reckon a blue chip wrestler. I think Edge said at one time that he was going in as number 1 or 2. So like that was part of the story, was that he was trying to go from belt to belt, which he did to his credit. So that's something you can do. Or alternatively, here's even another one for recent viewers: the Judgment Day. Like they're probably, like by the time this goes out, McDonough will probably be part of the Judgment Day. So take it as like 4 entries basically between Dom, Priest, Balor, and McDonough.
Mm-hmm.
They could do a coordinated attempt to upgrade their numbers so that they corner the market towards the end. And as I said, somebody might fuck up, so Dom might be in early or Priest might be in early. All strategic, all different places. If you become rigid with the spot numbers, yeah, it takes that element. It takes a certain element of surprise out of it, but it means the wrestlers, fans, to be expecting certain people here, but the rest are all mysteries. And then people are then now frantically looking through their number, going, "Oh, hang on, I don't know who's number 15. I don't know who 15 is." And then suddenly, oh, it's The Rock. Holy fuck! That's where you get the added shock value of it.
Yeah.
But as I said, doing that every year then kind of makes it feel more of a sport. Then it makes it feel more like an actual, like it is like there's this actual spontaneous draft feel to it, kind of way. But
The Undertaker chokeslamming Lance Archer there in that last screenshot.
was it Lance Archer or Kid Cash? I couldn't see who it was.
Lance, no, Vance Archer.
Vance Archer, yeah.
That's
what it is.
before he was Lance Hoyt and then finally Lance.
Rosilo was known as Tramp Stamp.
So, just while you were talking there, so obviously, now again, this dates the recording, but Impact Wrestling have a tour in October, and basically they've just announced that Leon Slater will debut, defending the North Wrestling Championship at Turning Point.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Like that's brilliant stuff. To be honest, like I I'm not surprised that he'd end up somewhere like there. But what I love is the comment, the first comment down below it. It's like, Impact Wrestling, you ain't seen nothing like Leon Slater. And the first response to it is from Impact themselves. It's like, we have. Why do you think he's booked? Like, that's fucking brilliant.
Solid response. Solid.
Like, I love shit like that. Like, whoever's running that fucking social media page is just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, we're watching it all the time.
Well, the Impact are kind of in a very kind of like interesting little niche there, because they are obviously able to offer certain people contracts and make a decent living. Also, that was to be flexible with independent stuff, but it's also that like they are able to fly under the radar to a certain extent to give people who are, you could argue, maybe too raw to get a WWE contract. AEW are at saturation point, so that they couldn't possibly be fucking offering more deals. They will, but they won't. They can't. They won't get the actual satisfaction booking wise. So they've got like a nice little niche. You could argue MLW are in the same boat as well, but with Impact having that kind of international flavor to it as well. Like, you're doing certain shows in Toronto, or you're having the occasional tour in England. You can just say, oh yeah, we'll just cherry pick these three from the local scene, put them on the tour. If our like domestic audience like them, we'll keep them.
Yeah.
And they have a contract. Like, I think it's an excellent role, the position they find themselves in. Like, granted, it's nowhere near what they were in their heyday, but they don't have to be. You know, they just have to survive and make a living, you know?
Like that MLW all too often just becomes like the problem child corner. Where it's like the last chance saloon when you've been kicked out of every other company.
Yeah.
But the other problem with them is they run shows so irregular that they only do these kind of like big shows, and then that becomes their TV for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Which is, it's fine, but Impact is like when AEW showed up, it did do serious damage to the indie scene.
Yeah.
En masse. But Impact, not TNA, is now basically like the top tier indie promotion to a degree that TNA nearly never was. TNA was trying to be its own thing in the way that AEW was.
Yeah, it's like the difference between, like, I suppose like there is the kind of comparison between TNA and AEW now, where AEW is the kind of like they both have the delusions of grandeur. Like, they both are going to be a glorious failure, but you're along for the ride and it's going to be fun. It's fun, it's interesting, it's worth talking about. Whereas like Impact is a kind of like the more now sensible adult version of that. We're going, all right, we can all settle down now. We all had our fun back in the day. Yes, please ignore the Hulk Hogan era. We don't like it either. But now to keep things afloat, we need to be sensible and have an actual strategy, you know.
But like that, they like that, bringing in the likes of Leon Slater shows that they clearly do have their ear to the ground globally. And they do bring in the young talent to work with the kind of more established ones as well. Like, like they had Mickey James on the roster for the women up until, and I will fucking die on this hill, Impact has the most consistently well booked women's division outside of women specific companies.
Yes.
In wrestling.
They always have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even when you thought it was bad, it was still consistently booked. Like, so
well,
it wasn't like
that's the thing. Like, it's like even in the TNA era, like there was like the sign of times where like certain people were booked a certain way, but at least they were booked. Like, there were stories, there were factions, there were feuds, you know.
And it was never just that it was like, and now it's time for our token women's match.
Yeah.
There was various storylines with actual ongoing threads. Actual character development.
When's the last time you think they saw a match this good?
Yeah, and it's also not the usual the kind of cheap trick that WWE do nowadays, which is, let's put them in a tag team for a while. And I know
There was a bit of that.
There is a bit of that, but not to the same extent where like you have actual main event is just basically held there for 3 months because it's not their turn yet. You know what I mean? Now, like I said, that's also the same for the men as well, because like I still don't know why Ricochet and Braun Strowman are friends. I presume it's because they both have big contracts and need something to do. You know.
I like it. I like the idea being that it's because they look like one is a clone of another to the wrong proportions, and it's impossible to tell which one is the original.
There is like a common common descendant between Ricochet and Braun Strowman, and whenever that person appears, it's probably top dollar, to be honest. But like between those two, you get the real person, you know. Maybe they should do like a Dragon Ball Z fusion and you actually see who the actual the actual wrestler should be.
These superstars give everything they got when they're
Top dollar makes way too much sense now that you said it.
It's a good thing he's released then, or else that storyline would have actually happened.
I like Top.
Like with a lot of acts on WWE, sometimes I'm just very ambivalent on them. You know, especially when they're very much intended to be just ancillary people.
Yeah.
You know,
When I really took to him was when he got fired the first time.
Yeah.
And Will went and he started doing those freestyle raps on Twitter.
oh,
He's really fucking good at it.
I didn't even know that about him. So there you go. Yeah.
He was, well, in WWE he released one every Friday before Smackdown,
Yeah, that's cool.
which was consistent.
No, that's good. Let's put yourself out there. That's what you want.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey, we're number 29 on the lads.
excellent.
Fuck you, Matt Hardy.
Slide into the ring, get eliminated straight away. Santino.
Fuck you.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's
No,
how it went.
No, in fairness, that is how the game goes sometimes.
I'm going to presume at this point, given that the furthest you could get was 29, that 30 will be JBL. But time will tell.
Time will tell, exactly. Because we cannot ignore the JBL in the room. After all, he has money.
So they did say he shouldn't be in the Rumble.
Shouldn't be in. Again, like, why hasn't that been a thing where someone literally buys themselves the like spot 31? Like, would that be an amazing Ted DiBiase spot? So like, oh, it's a 30-man Rumble. Ted DiBiase wasn't featured in it, but he paid off Jack Tunney to become entrant number 31 and wins the Rumble.
He did buy a later number. He was number 30 in 93.
Yeah.
Because he bought the spot, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
To be put in as an extra, that'd be. I don't know if anyone's done it, like, for the reason of kind of like they've bought someone off or they politic for it. But have they not done the extra competitor just being added in after?
Technically, Becky Lynch. When she won the Rumble, like she replaced Lana, so like Lana didn't actually get to the ring, which you could argue she was the 31st entrance, you know.
That kind of counts.
Yeah. But then again, they've done bits like that where like someone gets like fleed out beforehand and then someone just takes a spot because they just happen to be there, you know. So that you could argue that that's a 31st spot as well. But I was thinking like actual, like my metric would be graphic comes up 31st entrance, like JBL or whatever the fuck, you know.
Well, we've had a couple of 31st entrants, technically speaking.
Yeah, but those two Rumbles were shit, Jamie. That's
40 and 50-man Royal Rumble
fucking
matches.
atrocious.
Yeah, there was too many people. And the fact that when they did a 40-man Rumble and made it look like fucking Santino was going to win it.
In fairness, considering who actually did win that Rumble, I probably would prefer Santino.
They probably would have been better off.
Like, in the grand scheme of things, like, fucking anyone could have been better.
A 40-man Rumble. And he was your best choice.
They were pushing him at the time.
They were, yeah. They needed, like, oh shit, Rey Mysterio's gone. We need a Latino fucking...
And to be fair, most of the extra 10 people in the match were either core / Nexus members,
Yes.
and most of them were only there as fodder for CM Punk having a chat. Because it was that year.
It was that year, yeah. It was an experimental phase that we went through. They didn't get better. It took a while. Then the Shield came around and made everything better. So, 2 little tidbits there from our emails. We don't actually have ticket number 29. Matt Hardy scribbled a 2 on his ticket, so we actually had number 9. So in actuality, we took Rey Mysterio's spot, which is number 13.
I actually kind of like that.
Wouldn't it be kind of gas? Yeah. So now we're in a fatal 4-way with 4 different numbers on the grid. One of them, who's going to be in the Rumble, is Chris Benoit.
Go figure.
Which means he lost his World Championship.
Yes. Yes, he did.
Yeah. So, and that would have happened at Armageddon. Going by the timeline, because we fought him at Survivor Series. And look at this.
Wait, no.
He's carrying the world title.
No. There he is now, yeah.
Yeah. Which now makes me assume, is he running a storyline where he thinks he's the world champion? So he's just got himself a replica belt and is just living in denial.
Which, knowing his brain at the time, yeah.
Could be.
It's like, Chris, you lost the championship to The Undertaker at Armageddon. No, don't remember that. Give me the title. Okay, you got that kind of look in your eyes again, Chris. I'm gonna let you go. Just don't hurt anyone. Now, not to say that this is the toast of SmackDown's roster here, but
Well, Merchant.
there's Foxy.
I'm not gonna lie, I love Paul Burchill.
Yeah, that's why I said it. Here's your fucking boy. Here's the one you mark out for.
That was the plan.
Like, if I had to make a boys list, he'd be on the fucking boys list.
Yeah.
Fucking, like, just a gimmick that shouldn't work, but, like, I loved it.
I thoroughly enjoyed his Jack Sparrow phase. I even enjoyed the sister banging Ripper phase.
Not many people say that.
Yeah, I was a fan of him already, and I liked Katie Lee from her doing indies.
Yeah. He was a little bit dirty in the end when you think about it. Between these the two that he had, like, again, a good example of.
Paul Burchill and Katie Lee Burchill weren't related.
No.
At all. They could have just been
a couple, yeah.
There, like.
Well, Vince McMahon is interested in incest. You know, it's
unhealthy interest in.
Very.
Yes. What's that? My daughter is actually legitimately pregnant. Let's tell people on TV I'm the dad. Hey.
I've gone drunk with power again. Johnny Ace, tell me I'm great. Oh, you're really good, Vince McMahon. Look, leave me in the office at 5 minutes alone, please. Yes, of course. That would be great.
Not gonna lie, like, I'm looking at this and be like, I probably could do a pirate gimmick. I could probably do a pirate gimmick. See, the problem is that, like, a lot of people, when they think pirate, they just automatically think Jack Sparrow. But it doesn't have to be.
Well, famously, the actor who invented pirate speak was just ad-libbing. Like, he was doing, was it Robinson Crusoe? Jamie might know this more than I will, but he was doing, it was Treasure Island. I have to remember his name. Not Robin Cook.
Errol something?
Errol Flynn?
Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn, he used to do Robin Hood as well.
Could be wrong. But yeah, rather famously, the reason Paul Burchill didn't get pushed was because Vince had no idea who Captain Jack Sparrow was.
It was Robert Newton.
Oh, there we go.
because he was in Treasure Island as Long John Silver, but in the movie afterwards, so he actually did play two pirates. He was Blackbeard in the movie Pirates in '52, and he was Long John Silver in the Disney movie Treasure Island in '54.
Okay.
And in both movies, he basically invented pirate speak by going yard hard 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 hard.
Hard, matey.
Yeah,
That's all him.
yeah.
That is mad.
Considering that, like, historically speaking, most pirates would have spoken in either Yorkshire, West Country accents, or Welsh.
I can see why that didn't work out.
Yes, exactly. Because I don't think pirates would be nowhere as cool if you just hear them go, "Hey up, I'm on the seven seas, man." Not quite the same appeal, you know.
Or, you know, to be fair, because now that you mentioned it, and it seems really fucking strange, a lot of them probably would have spoken Spanish and Portuguese.
Yep.
Because, you know, they had armadas.
They had armadas, they were the raiders, yeah, exactly. And a
The
bit of Irish in
Caribbean.
there as well, but that wasn't really our jam. You know.
No, we were more stuck with the famine
And
and the Black Plague.
yeah, well, it was more so like we were not like conquerors. Like we were probably on the side of the fucking islanders, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, if there's alcohol involved, we'd be there for the crack. But, like, you know, again,
Where's
we have
rum
more
gun? Where's the rum gun? Because
with more important things at home to worry about, as you said.
We had ourselves. We had the Pirate Queen.
We did. That's
No,
right.
man.
Yeah.
We made an attempt.
Yeah, we had a few.
I do like that they didn't actually fuck up Cali. He does look big enough.
Yeah. Like, I think they did actually break the character model just to make him 7 for 4.
Good call. The only interesting thing about the man.
No, I think the most interesting thing about the man was that he was a New Japan wrestler for a while, which is so incongruous to how we know New Japan now. To be like, oh, here's all the good wrestlers. This is where they all work half-an-hour matches. Or sometimes, no, they actually just want the biggest freak ever to scare all the locals and to wrestle 5 minutes in front of everyone.